Stop making this bench press mistake and make your chest grow today. A huge mistake that I see at every gym I go to on the bench press is raising our hips off of the bench. And it doesn't matter if it's an incline or a flat, that people still do this. And there's two reasons that I absolutely hate it, and I'm gonna show you why. All right, so the first thing I wanna start with is points of contact. So when I sit down we're doing an incline here, and this is what I would consider a moderate incline. Of the bench here, we can obviously go a slight incline or a high incline, but today we have a moderate incline bench. I want to think about, again, the points of contact I have with the ground. The more points of contact I have, the more power I'm able to generate. So if we want to think about feet flat on the ground, hips tucked into the bench, lay back, shoulder blades are going to be pinned to that bench, and finally my head is going to be glued to the pad. So when I look here, I have my feet driven into the ground. At no point, let me unrack this bar and show you. At no point do I want to shoot my legs out, because then I'm wobbly and lose stability, right? So feet on the ground, they can be flat or they can be tucked. Either way, completely up to you, whatever feels the most comfortable. And then what I want to think about now is leaving my hips on the bench and then my head down, not looking up. Because a lot of times you'll see people do this, right? I don't understand that at all. It just feels weird and cranks my neck. If I'm here, I have a neutral spine with my neck, and I'm able to push. At no point my feet, hips, shoulder blades, or head are coming off of this. Here. No matter if it's explosive, heavy, or a warm-up. Because I'm a huge believer in when you press, your warm-up sets, your feeder sets, all look like your work sets. Because we're ingraining that into our brain. I come from a huge football background, so I believe in the way you practice is the way you perform on game day. Same shit. The way you practice, meaning your warm-up sets, your feeder sets, are how you're gonna do your work sets. So put that into application. All right, and now to the main focus of why I'm making this video. Because I had to cover the points of contact, because if you raise your hips off the bench, that is gonna take away so much power that you have and you're able to push. But secondly, I wanna show you what this does to the angle. So if we're bodybuilding, if we're trying to build lean tissue, and I'm doing this incline press, I'm purposely trying to target my upper chest fiber. Let's still get my medial and low 100%, but I'm trying to bias, really hit that muscle up towards my collarbone. So let me show you how it looks when I normally do it, and when I shoot my hips up, what it does to the angle and where I'm actually hitting. So normal, sit back, unrack the bar, we're here. Now look at my torso alignment towards my hips and towards my head. Here, up, Those are perfect reps, right? No matter if I have this loaded with 3 plates or nothing, just the bar. This is always gonna be constant. Now, watch what happens when most people start to struggle with the reps. What do? Bam, they shoot their hips like this. Well, I need to be specific there. They lower the bar, and then bam, look at that. Look at that right there. Is that an incline anymore? I would say no. I'm gonna show you again. When I come down, they control. The moment they reverse the bar, the hips shoot. That is a flat angle, guys. Look. I'm flat bench pressing. If I just did it here, I'm literally flat benching. It's that easy. You just took an incline barbell press and made it flat because you're doing it wrong. Wrong. Don't do this. Now, let me show you flat and how people screw that up. Look at my torso alignment from my knees to my hips to my shoulder blades, all in line. This is a flat bench press. Lower down, press up. Lower down, press up. Again, no matter if I had the bar or 3 plates, that's gonna look the same. Now, let me show you what most people do, thinking this makes them stronger, and it's gonna make their chest grow. They lower down, bam, shoot their hips up. That's a fucking decline. Look at that. I'm decline bench pressing. Why would we do that? I don't get it. You think it makes you look cooler? Stop humping the air, glue your hips to the pad, and press the weight. If you can't do it that way, take some weight off and get stronger. And then progress back up to the weight you were originally humping. Pretty simple, right? There you have it, guys. 2 take-homes. Points of contact, leaving your hips on the bench. Those are the 2 things. So again, let's review. Points of contact, feet, hips, shoulder blades, head, all on the bench at all times when you're incline, flat, or even decline pressing. Then the second take home, when it gets hard, when the last few reps are struggling, glue your hips to that bench. Don't shoot it up and change the angle that you're pressing at, because then we're just shifting emphasis of our chest. If you're doing incline, we want to hit this upper chest. If we're doing flat, we want to get the middle. If we're doing decline, we want to hit the bottom. Don't change it. So make your form perfect. Even if you have to regress temporarily, so let's give you some hard numbers. Let's say at 365 on the bar, your hips begin to come up. Drop it down to 315, get 10 to 12 reps, perfect form, hips on the pad. Then the next week, go to 335. Let's say at rep 4, your hips start to shoot up. Rack that shit, and then come back next week and try to get 5 or 6. And the next week, 7 or 8. Each week trying to build reps, and then eventually you're gonna be back to 365 with your hips glued to the bench. That's how we progress, that's how we get better. Your number one thing we have to always remember, form has to be perfect, or progressive overload or tracking your weights don't count. So for example, let me give you one more take-home hard fact. If you increase the negative speed, so let's say my normal negative speed is here. Let's say the next week you're like dive bombing the reps. That doesn't count if you're getting stronger because your form changed. The only way you can track progression is if your form stays constant and then your weights or reps go north. So another little take home, we actually walked away with 3 tips today. Points of contact, hips on the bench, and then keeping your form constant so that you can actually track progress. If you like this video, guys, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, Chris Evans TV.